Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here with a familiar face if you've been watching us. It's John Downey, who's President America's region for Hurtigruten, which is the expedition cruise line. And I never pronounced that right, but I'm pretty close, I think. It
You
was,
are close. Yeah.
there you go. And we're going to find they actually Hurtigruten just gave out a big offer for National Plan a Vacation Day, and we're going to talk about that and also more about what's going on with the line today because we haven't talked to John in a bit, and you're going to find out all about that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, John, first of all, as we usually say here, how are you and where are you?
Doing great. I'm in Seattle again, like the last time we talked.
I think you were in Chicago last time. I don't know.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're right. I was, because we've done 3 of these conversations over the course of the pandemic. Yes, the first time it was Seattle. I was in Chicago briefly for a couple days, and then I was back in Seattle again for the holidays since the caseload started kind of ramping up over that time period. So decided it was best to stay home for the holidays, had a nice cozy Christmas here and New Year's here in Seattle. So doing well though, healthy, and that's as much as I can ask for right now. So
absolutely, if it's always that we decide, oh yeah, I just had COVID. No, but and of course, as you know, I did, so I know all about that. So anyway, let's talk about the big news this week. You just introduced sort of some offers keyed on National Plan a Vacation Day, which we're coming out right at that time. Can you talk about them and what they do and exactly what they are?
Absolutely. So Americans left about 768 million unused vacation days in 2019, and we're expecting that number to be higher in 2020. So we wanted to make sure that we were helping people take advantage of that time off and dream big about their next vacations. So that's the main centerpiece for the campaign, the sale this week. There's a couple different things to talk about on it. First, it's today. The National Plan Vacation Day, the actual national holiday, is today. So we got kicked off, and we're offering, the first thing we're offering is a $500 deposit this week only for our travel agent partners. So that's one piece of the sale this week. Another piece of the sale is that we have about $4,000 off, or up to $4,000 off for our 21 sailing season. Okay. And that's focusing on great routes like the British Isles and North and South America. And then we also have 30% off our 22 and 23 sailings, and we have a number of amazing adventure routes on that front as well. And that includes our fantastic Antarctica winter season. So that's kind of the overall sale in a nutshell, but we can talk about details if you've got some follow-up questions around that.
Well, it's interesting because we always think of you as being Antarctica and doing a lot, but there's so much more. You said British Isles. That sounds like an amazing cruise, and you can get discounts for your clients on that. I mean, up to 4,000 off is nothing to sneer at. That's for sure.
No, definitely great offers.
Yeah. So obviously, and some of these savings do apply to your cruises in Norway, and in fact, I think you declared Norway your destination of the year, which is your homeland in a way. It's where Hurtigruten started and is still cruising. I think the only cruising going on right now is your Hurtigruten unit that's doing the coastal cruising, if I recall, because that's a ferry service in a way that goes up and down the coast. So that's going right now. But talk a little bit about your cruises in Norway, and the offer is applied to some of those, right?
Yeah, I mean, to go in a little bit more detail around the sale itself and kind of the destinations we're focusing on, and then I can touch a little bit on Norway as well. Okay. Specifically on the sale, I mentioned that it's 4,000 off for the 21 season and then 30% off for the 22, 23 sailings, and the deposit, the $500 deposit. To focus on a couple of key destinations that we're highlighting here. First, we have some amazing destinations and new routes that include a journey from Greenland to Arctic Canada, which actually includes also a circumnavigation attempt around the high Arctic Baffin Island. And this entire voyage is linked to early exploration history. We visit traditional Inuit communities. We give amazing opportunities to spot Arctic wildlife, such as polar bears, foxes, whales, seals, narwhals. Yes, they do exist. And an unbelievable amount of migrating seabirds. So that's kind of one area of the world that we're focusing on. Okay. Another adventure that I personally have on my bucket list, I got I briefly had been to Alaska when I was younger, but I didn't really get to see it expedition style. So our Southern Alaska route takes you from Nome to Vancouver, while ensuring you get to see Alaska as a true explorer, with wild stops in the Aleutian Islands, opportunities to see the Katmai National Park, as well as the Tongass National Forest. And then there are wild animals all over the place. And so we'll take you to visit a number of the different Native American villages and give guests a different perspective on how to live off the land sustainably, which is what they do up there. And then, as always, we obviously have our fantastic routes in Central and South America, Iceland, I mentioned our New British Isles sailings, and then our second home, as you mentioned earlier, Antarctica, is always on our bucket list every single year. So that's on the sale. And then specifically in Norway, yes, 2020 was definitely an interesting year. And when we thought about returning to travel, we knew people were searching for moments of joy. And Norway is often in the top 5 happiest countries on Earth, and we wanted to highlight our home country. So each year in Norway, after the dark winter kind of starts to lift, Norwegians experience a really beautiful spring and summer, and it's kind of coming off the tail of the polar winter and into the period of the year that's known as the midnight sun. The transfer of the seasons energizes the Norwegian people. It brings a lot of spring flowers and melting snow, and that in turn drives a lot of gorgeous waterfalls in the fjords around the country. So it definitely is our destination of the year, and we're really looking forward to welcoming our friends back to Norway this coming year.
No, that's great. It sounds like it's some wonderful places. And obviously these are offers that travel advisors should be getting out to their clients and tell them, hey, you can probably cruise this year and cruise to some amazing exotic places that are really, talk about isolation. I mean, we're out in the wildlife, that, as you said that. So these are cruises. You're not going to a lot of ports with a lot of people in them. That's for sure. So I guess this is a great time to use these special offers and really get your clients out there. So please check them out. Now let's talk a little. Get an update on Hurtigruten itself. Like other cruise lines, I assume you are paused right now, except for those coastal cruises which I mentioned. Is there any kind of sense? I don't know what the current date is, and we won't hold you to it. Because obviously, it's a moving target. But what's the sense of when you're going to restart right now?
Yeah, as you mentioned, our coastal cruises, we're running a limited set right now because they provide transportation service for Norwegian citizens. So most of our ships right now are based in Norway. They're sitting there in warm stack if they're not sailing on the Norwegian coast. It's obviously a moving target in terms of when we're going to be able to restart sailing, and we're following the science and everything around that. But we are prepping for a new season. We expect to restart our adventures somewhere around mid to late April. That's our current estimate, and we really can't wait to get back out there and have safe but fun adventures with our friends and guests.
No, absolutely. I know both you and I can't wait. I mean, they're looking forward to going on these cruises. It talks about you last year, I believe you split the company kind of. You have your expedition side, and then you have your coastal cruising, which is, again, as you said, kind of how Hurtigruten grew up and became and turned into an expedition cruising company. So how is that restructuring gone so far?
Good. We're still in the process of doing it right now. Obviously, you can imagine it's a big endeavor, but we've had quite a bit of momentum, and I think you can already start to see kind of how we're designing our coastal and new expedition routes and the fruits of the restructuring labor that we're going through right now. We've definitely been focusing through the restructuring process on adding additional pre-post tours to enhance the experience for our guests. And make sure that they get to see both the amazing destinations from both a land and a sea perspective. But we're really happy with the progress we've made so far, and we're continuing to move through it right now.
Now, you mentioned most of your ships are in Norway right now, even if they're not being used. But how quickly can you get them back into service? I mean, you're aiming right now, as you said, for end of April or April sometime, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, our coastal ships in general are running for the most part across the coastal fleet. Our expedition fleet is warm stacked right now, which means that we could get started back up very, very quickly once it's safe to do so. So we're pretty ready to go for the 21 season, and we're excited to get going.
No, and as all of us are now. What you've been doing a lot, actually. I think, and this question was, what are you doing to help and support travel advisors during this period? And we've talked about this before. And of course, here's another few months have passed to help them get up, be better informed about your products during the pandemic.
Yeah, we've done a number of different things. We've taken advantage of the time that we've had kind of off the water, so to speak, in further building resources for our travel advisor partners. We've been improving our training programs. We're offering more marketing and sales tools to them through our Hurtigruten portal, trade portal. We also are ensuring that we have more multimedia options for our partners so they can co-brand and share with their customers as well. And then we've done a lot of webinars, voyage overviews, day-to-day recaps of our voyages. And we've worked really, really closely, especially in this last period, in developing promotions that help agents offer great options to their customers. So we've been kind of co-developing on that as well. So those are just a few of the things.
Yeah, and this is a time where you can better understand, because obviously your cruises are a bit different, and it really requires some understanding of all the places that you go and what you can do. It's pretty amazing stuff. Now, have you started selling 22 and 23 cruises yet? And what's new for those on those seasons for ports and itineraries?
Yeah, we're very excited about the 22-23 season. We do have a good portion of it up already and for sale right now online, as well as through our travel advisor partners. And we're continuing to add itineraries. We have a ton of new offerings and destinations that we're in, both destinations that we're known for, but also even more destinations that fit or complement our expedition focus. As I mentioned earlier, we have added a few voyages in Arctic Canada and have a great Northwest Passage offering that's super popular every single year. We also have a wellness-focused cross-Atlantic crossing sailing that you can really center yourself on yoga, meditation, delicious meals, and spa experiences. And then we've also added more European sailings, including a whiskey and wildlife themed one that I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I think you should book us both on that one. I think we can handle that one. I don't know, the whiskey and wildlife. And you can put wellness in there if you want, but that's whiskey, wildlife, and wellness. But that sounds a fascinating sailing. I guess I never realized that you did that kind of thing.
Well, it's relatively new. The British Isles were relatively new this year, for us at least, and we're focusing on the Hebrides and the Shetland Islands and that. So you get to pass by a lot of the distilleries along the way, and so we're really excited about that offering. And then we've also added a ton of national park opportunities for North, Central, and South America sailings. And including as well as circumnavigation of Svalbard, which we're pretty well known for. We're doing a Norwegian Christmas village sailing, and then a fantastic Patagonia and Antarctica offering, which we're well known for as well.
Well, Patagonia is a wonderful place, and to do that in combination eventually with Antarctica is obviously a natural. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming up for 22 and 23 when hopefully we're all back to what it passes for normal. But we sort of lost track of your schedule for introducing new ships. I mean, I was on the Roald Amundsen, what was that? Almost a year and a half ago now. I'm thinking about it. I've lost track of time. And then I believe I'm horrible at this, Fridtjof Nansen, which is the twin ship. And is that already out or not?
It is. Yep. Came out, and they've both been on the water before, obviously, the pandemic year. But they're out and they're warm stacked right now. They're officially in the fleet, and they will definitely be a key part of our expedition voyages in the coming years. We expect both of them to be active around May, crossing our fingers that things progress in the right direction from a pandemic perspective. And then they'll be spending spring and summer in summer locations, including spending some time in the Arctic.
And I think you have more to come, right? I believe you had other ships on schedule. I'm not exactly sure where we stand with the next round of new vessels.
Yeah, we haven't officially announced kind of when we're planning on launching the next round of vessels, and we're working through that right now. So,
okay. Well, those are two beautiful. Having been on the Amundsen, it was just a spectacular ship that you and I got the chance to be up in Vancouver, and it really is amazing. And its twin came out after that. So we're looking back to get back on those, as you said, in May. Now, everyone wants to know about Antarctica, but when at this point would the first Antarctica cruise begin?
Yeah, great question. We are right now expecting to have a full Q4 Antarctica season this year, including, and this is really special, a once in a lifetime opportunity to see the full solar eclipse. And it will only be able to be viewed in Antarctica. So we plan to experience it in the Scotia Sea near the South Orkney Islands, just northeast of the peninsula. And in addition to getting to experience that as a once in a lifetime opportunity, we're also going to be releasing information soon around a tremendous expert that will be hosting both photography and astronomy sessions on board the ship. And that'll obviously ensure that you're not only able to experience the amazing event, but also do it with the knowledge of what's happening as well. So we're extremely excited about the Antarctica season this year, and we're really looking forward to getting going in the water for that in Q4.
And what exactly is the date or date for that, a total eclipse?
I can send it over to you. We can post it online. I'm more than happy to provide that. But yeah, it's later this year in December. So.
It's in December. Okay, I won't hold you to the exact date because you and I, unless we go back to astronomy class, we're not going to know when that is. But yeah, in fact, we have written about it too, so you can actually look it up on ITR because I know we've done an item or two about it. So anything else you want to tell our audience of 75,000 travel advisors about both the new offers that are just out and how to take advantage of them and what's to come for this season and into 22, 23?
Definitely. Well, first, foremost, over anything else, thank you. Your partnership this past year, especially when things have been trying for all of our travel advisor partners, has been very much appreciated. We really appreciate everything we're doing to work together to help our guests get through this past year, obviously with a lot of the rebookings as well as the adjusted sailing schedule. So thank you for everything that you do every single day for your customers and in partnering with us. Don't forget, we got National Plan a Vacation Day. We got $500 deposits just for you travel advisors this week, but you got to hop on it. It'll be expiring later this week on Friday. So and there's tons and tons of great offers on top of that around the 21 as well as the 22-23 season. So we really, really appreciate everything that you do, and we're looking forward to partnering with you in the 21 season as well.
Now, where can travel advisors go specifically to find out the details of this latest offer and other information about Hurtigruten?
Yeah, obviously there's lots of different ways you can reach out to us. You can reach out if you have a business development manager that you're working with, feel free to reach out to them. But you can also go on to Hurtigruten.com or also visit our trade portal, specifically both our consumer-facing website as well as our trade-facing website have the details around all those offers up online, and you can get all those details as you need them.
Well, John, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk us about this new offer. Pretty good timing for it, and it sounds like amazing destinations that travel advisors can book their clients to right now and in 21, not just 22. Although I tell you, some of those itineraries you're talking about in 22 and 23 sound pretty amazing stuff. And I'm sure if you can't get on the ships this year, which we hope you can get your clients on, please look at 22 and 23 because I think it sounds like and having been on the ship, the Amundsen. Just an amazing vessel, and I'm looking forward to much more from that. But again, John, thank you for once again taking the time. This is the third time we've talked during the pandemic, and hopefully the next time we'll do a live one. But we'll see what happens. I know we're coming up to some conferences, which we were just talking about earlier. That there might be some conferences towards in the middle of the year that we'll be able to get to. But before then, maybe you'll have started sailing, right?
Looking forward to it. We're crossing our fingers.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.